Welcome, friends, to Jesus Meditation this morning, coming to you live from Cody, Wyoming. So, let's begin with the invocation. We'll start in English, and then Aliela, if you want to do the Russian. Towards the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the spirit of guidance.
Единому совершенству любви, гармонии, красоты, единственно сущему, объединяясь со всеми просветленными душами, которые образуют воплощение Мастера, путеводный дух.
Amen. So visit the elemental breaths. I think you're all familiar with this by now, but we'll be attuning to the Aramaic words for these different elements. We'll begin with the breath of earth, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. When we breathe in Allah. With every breath, we're breathing in Allah, the source of all breath, the source of all these elements, making them alive in our beings. And breathing out through the nose, Ar-Ah, the breath of earth, feeling the stability of the earth beneath us and our bones. Breathing in through the nose, Allah, breathing out through the nose, Ar-Ah. And for the element of water, again, we're breathing in Allah, breathing in through the nose, and breathing out Maya, breathing out through the mouth. Just connecting to that element of water within our beings, feeling the flow of life. Breathing in Allah through the nose, breathing out Maya through the mouth. We'll visit the element of fire, breathing in through the mouth, Allah, and breathing out through the nose, Nurra. Just getting attuning to that element of light and intelligence and passion, fire in our lives and our beings, the warmth of the sun. Breathing in Allah through the mouth, breathing out Nurra through the nose. We'll visit the element of air, which I'm feeling very strong right now. Hopefully the wind isn't too noisy for you all. But we'll breathe in through the mouth, Alaha, and breathe out through the mouth, Ruha. Ruha being that breath of all breaths, the spirit, feeling the air, filling our lungs, the wind around us if you're outside, just feeling the air on your skin. So many ways to attune to this element. Breathing in Alaha through the mouth and breathing out Ruha through the mouth. And the breath of ether is just a natural breath, whatever feels most comfortable and easy for you. It's a very refined breath. Breathing in Alaha, and breathing out Alaha. And just a sense of gratitude for the source of all these elements that become living with each of breath that we take. Let the source of breath breathe through you. And we'll say the Aramaic Lord's Prayer together. It's in the chat window. Avun Dabashamaya Nek Kaddish Shemach Te Te Malkuta Nehwe Sabiane Chaikana Dabashmaya Afbar A Havlan Lachma Desunkanan Yaumana Washboklan Chalbein Wachte Aikana Dafkanan Shvovakan Lachayalbein Wela Tahlan La Neshuna Ela Patsan Ninbisha Metol de Lachi Malkuta Wahaila Wateshbukta La Alam Amin Amin May. So are you all hearing me okay despite the wind? If it's too windy, I can go in the, looks like a thumbs up. Okay. All right, so today we'll be visiting the Beatitude number 8. And last week we did number 6. We're skipping number 7. Maybe for a couple of weeks, we'll revisit that when I'm back in a room with Sarah, who can help with making some music for that particular Beatitude. But with this one, I think there is a song that goes to it and a dance, but neither of us are familiar with it. So we're just I'm gonna go with a body movement speaking practice this morning with this Beatitude. So, tu voyun leilein detrep metul chenuta delhuni malkuta dashmaya. So I think a lot of these words are familiar to us. They're in some of the other Beatitudes, the malkuta, dashmaya, chenuta, but the King James translation of this is Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Then let's get a little bit of another attunement from Sadi for this particular beatitude. So now we're meeting resistance and traveling on. That's kind of the theme we're on now for these next couple of beatitudes. Yeshua advises that if we plant peace in the way he mentions, we will likely create a reaction inside, if not always outside, reminding ourselves and others about our real origin and goal was, from Yeshua's view, the most dangerous thing one could do while in the flesh. I'm going to read that again. Reminding ourselves and others about our real origin and goal was the most dangerous thing one could do while in the flesh. It's not easy to move this river of human consciousness when we want to make a change. Even in his time, Jesus said as much when he told a person whom he had healed to go home a different way, to not be immediately dragged back into the perceptions of those who believed they knew him as best as a sick person. So the word leilein, we've heard this before, the word returns from the fourth beatitude, reminding us again that we need deep longing and full intention to make changes. When life tests us, then we know if we can live up to or into what we have been telling ourselves and others. Det, redep, from the root red, meaning pushed through or toward something. Through being pushed, we follow a different journey, following into openness or bursting out like a spring emerging from the earth. This is the word usually translated as persecuted, which again, at the time of the King James Version translators, did not mean something so very different. Metul chenuta, usually translated for righteousness' sake. The second word about our fervent desire for balance returns from the fourth beatitude. Here we are pushed through a boundary for the sake of metol, or justice, balance, and honesty in our lives. If words and actions don't match, we are far from chenuta. Delhuni malkuta dashmaya. This phrase returns from the first beatitude. We re-enter the power and vision of nature of the cosmos. We are rebuilt as channels of Allaha within a larger interwoven world. In the first beatitude, our sense of dependency, holding on to our home in the breath, leads to a spark of empowerment. In this one, we take responsibility within the entire natural world rather than from the position either over, under, or outside of it. So another translation of this could be tuning themselves to ripeness are those being pushed beyond safe boundaries for the sake of honesty and justice. They are renewed within the vision and power of the larger life vibrating all around them. And I'm going to read a little bit from Prayers of the Cosmos as well, because he has a paragraph here I think it's good. In this and the next beatitude, Jesus presents a realistic picture of what his hearers probably already knew. Society does not easily tolerate the prophetic spirit, and one is likely to run into opposition. Jesus does not, however, either commiserate with us or incite us to seek suffering. He places the reactiveness of society within a cosmic context. If you are dislocated for justice, consider your new home to be the planet or the universe. The boundaries that provide our margin of safety sometimes also insulate us from our next step. Consider adversity as an incitement to take another step. Seems to be both the message and the body prayer of these final Beatitudes. For our body practice this morning, I'd like to invite you to recite Tu Voyun Lailain Detre. And this again is that Lailain is the deep longing, a deep yearning for something different. And then the Detrep is the persecuted, but really it's that pushing beyond the boundaries of what might feel comfortable. And yeah, it's any adversity or struggles, I think, that we might be experiencing. So I thought we could just do like a Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep and just kind of reaching out, kind of like a spring trying to push through the ground to come out, or even a seed trying to push its plant up into out of the dirt, which I'm sure is not an easy struggle, going beyond the boundaries. So we'll say Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep, and then Metul Kenuta. We'll put our hands on our hearts. In the Metul Kenuta, this finding that inner balance. Where are we seeking justice in our lives, or honesty and balance between the inner and the outer? Metul Kenuta. So after pushing through those boundaries, what's the reality of the heart saying for you? And then Delchoni Malkuta Dashmaya, we'll spread our hands out, and really kind of just looking up and feeling that power of the universe, of the one, of the I can, of the cosmos that is within you, feeling that Shem, the light, Dashmaya, is that light of the universe that can give you the strength and the power to fulfill this balance and righteousness and honesty that we're attuning to. So I'll just go through this, I don't know how many times, but a few, and then we'll eventually bring it on the breath. Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep, Metul Kenuta, Delchoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep, Metul Kenuta, Delchoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep, Metul Kenuta, Delchoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep, Metul Kenuta, Delchoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep, Metul Kenuta, Delchoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep, Metul Kenuta, Delchoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep, Metul Kenuta, Delchoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Voyun Lailain Detrep, Metul Kenuta, Delchoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Vayun Lailain Detrep. Meto Chanuta. Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Vayun Lailain Detrep. Meto Chanuta. Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Vayun Lailain Detrep. Matul Chanuta. Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Vayun Lelain Detrep. Matul Chanuta. Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Vayun Lelain Detrep. Matul Chanuta. Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Vayun Lelain Detrep. Matul Chanuta. Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Vayun Lelain Detrep. Matul Chanuta. Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Tu Vayun Lelain Detrep. Matul Chanuta. Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. One more time. Tu Vayun Lelain Detrep. Matul Chanuta. Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. And I encourage you to bring this mantra onto the breath. And breathing out, Tu Vayun Lelain Detrep. Breathing in, Matul Chanuta. Where's that inner balance in the heart? And then breathing out, Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Bringing that balance into the world with the power of the cosmos. So breathing out. Oh wait, that doesn't work. Just realized that. Okay, breathing out, Tu Vayun Lelain Detrep. Oh, let me think about this. How about we do breathing in Tu Vayun Lelain with the longing, breathing out Detrep, breathing in Matul Chanuta, and then breathing out Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. So I'll speak that through a few times and then we'll just go into silence and just attune to this beatitude. All right. Breathing in Tu Vayun Lelain. Breathing out Detrep. Breathing in Matul Chanuta. And breathing out Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Breathing in Tu Vayun Lelain. Breathing out Detrep. Breathing in Matul Chanuta. And breathing out Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. Breathing in Tu Vayun Lelain. Breathing out Detrep. Breathing in Matul Chanuta. And breathing out Dilhoni Malkuta Dashmaya. And just continue on the breath in this way, tuning to the heart. Just a few more breaths. So, uh, as you know, I've been reading also the attunement from Anayat Khan on his little sayings on each of the Beatitudes. This is in the Unity of Religious Ideals. I'm sorry I didn't read this for you earlier, but here it is now. Blessed, so he does the translation again. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. It is easy to be righteous when everything is smooth in life. But when a person is tried, it is difficult to keep to it. For the more righteous he is, the more losses he has to suffer. And though there may not seem to be any gain in righteousness, yet the reward of the righteous is heaven in the end. So I'll read that one more time. It is easy to be righteous when everything is smooth in life. But when a person is tried, it is difficult to keep to it. For the more righteous he is, the more losses he has to suffer. And though there may not seem to be any gain in righteousness, yet the reward of the righteous is heaven in the end. And tu voyun leilein detret metul chenuta dolhoni makuta dashmaya. And I just wanted to, before I turn the recording off, I'm going to go ahead and share my experience this morning, because I feel like I had a little bit of a pushing beyond boundaries, or at least some struggle in life, and had to really check myself. And it actually went a little bit with the bowl of sake today too, but which was about not harming anyone, even the thorns that you're stepping on. But so I went to go try to take a shower this morning at this lovely campground, and you have to put at least 4 quarters in to get 3 minutes of a hot water shower. And I only had dollars, and the dollar machine to make quarters was not working. And so I was just like having a little fit about that. And I was like, oh, like actually kind of a big fit. It was ridiculous how upset I was. And then I was like, okay, I think there's another shower house at the other end of the campground, and I think I still have time. So I walked across this grassy field thinking, well, at least it's a nice grassy field to walk in. And then all of a sudden my feet were in so much pain because there's little thistles and thorns all over the place. So I had to step very carefully to try and not. Anyway, so I was definitely having my struggles and noticing myself having this fit and having to really come back to center and be like, okay, you're out here in this beautiful place, and it's okay if you don't get a shower, and just, this is a good practice to look at really where are you stepping, and to be just more conscious. So I guess the debt trap for me was, the thorny not getting a shower, needing, and then the bringing back some intelligence and light and Shem to kind of come back to center. And then there was not, by the way, a shower house at the other end. So I walked all that way, and I was like, okay, well, here we are. I'll just enjoy the view and walk back to my camper. And then when I got to the first shower house, there was somebody there cleaning, and I was like, oh, my dollars aren't working in the machine. And he was like, oh, let me see. And he put his dollars in, and it worked fine. And I got a nice hot shower, and everything worked out just fun, anyway, Dashmaya. So there's my story for this morning. So now I'm going to pause the recording and see if anyone has anything else to share. Thank you, friends. So let's end with the prayer Pir, and I'm tuning to our teachers and guides as we close out this attunement to Jesus. Inspire of my mind, consoler of my heart, healer of my spirit. Thy presence lifteth me from earth to heaven. Thy words flow as a sacred river. Thy thought riseth as a divine spring. Thy tender feelings waken sympathy in my heart. Beloved teacher, thy very being is forgiveness. The clouds of doubt and fear are scattered by thy piercing glance. All ignorance vanishes in thy illuminating presence. A new hope is born in my heart by breathing thy peaceful atmosphere. O inspiring guide through life's puzzling ways, in thee I feel abundance of blessing. Amen.